If you have ever struggled with being consistent or you've wanted to have more discipline without being so harsh with yourself, this is the video for you, okay? Because I'm going to break it down today. And hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Guess who recorded themselves in slow motion with no audio? Yes, that would be me. That would be me. I recorded not just this YouTube video, but multiple pieces of content in slow motion with no audio, and that inspired this lesson today on consistency and discipline, but coming from a place of softness, which is like such a major shift. Okay. So I'm going to let you watch the montage of me doing this new look today, which I thought was really cute, by the way. I got some new eyeshadow. I changed the way I was using the hair rollers. I did, some different techniques with the products. And yes, I loved it. But in any case, upon reviewing the footage and noticing that I had filmed everything in slow motion with no audio, of course, I was a little upset. I was irritated. However, this teaching that I'm about to share with you allows me to soften in those moments and really just let it roll off my back. Like it's not a big deal. It is not a big deal to me. Okay? So the lesson is: the sun doesn't shine in the same way each day, and yet the plants still grow. One more time, because this is a very foundational teaching. I've used this in my private coaching. It's in the Goddess Blueprint. It's in She's So Magnetic. Like, this is super, super foundational. And the more you hear it and apply it, and use it in your life, the deeper your embodiment becomes. So you're really living it, not just saying it, but you're living it. It shows up in your actions. It shows up in your attitude. It's embedded into your thinking patterns. The sun doesn't shine the same way each day, and yet the plants still grow. If you struggle with being consistent or having discipline, a lot of times it's because we place so much pressure on ourselves right out of the gate, and we place so much pressure on every rep, on every little bit of practice or attempts, like each, at bat or whatever, that you discourage yourself and you burn out because you're coming from this boot camp energy. Or for some people, the classroom experience that you had, where every single thing that you do, you're supposed to try to get 100%, right? Your homeworks, your quizzes, your tests, your assignments, every single moment you're being graded and evaluated, and you're afraid to make a mistake. You're afraid to lose points. And it locks us into this idea of growth as being 100% every single time, every single day, every single moment. We put so much pressure on every single rep, on every single practice, instead of understanding that growth needs more room to breathe. And consistency is about averages. It's not about one single snapshot. So when we go into nature, we see a different energy and a different approach to growth, right? The sun does not have to shine the same way each day in order for the plants to grow. We don't need 2 inches of water every single day in order for the plants to grow, depending on where you are, right? It changes, but you get the concept, because you can go outside one day, it's sunny, and it'll be overcast the next. We'll have rain for 3 days and then no rain for 2 weeks. And yet the plants are still growing. So when you are approaching whatever it is that you want to do, right? An easy one to think about is fitness. You don't have to go to the gym every single day for an hour at the same time every single day in order to make progress. you don't have to use that approach. So when something comes up, or for example, I'm on my journey to be, a powerhouse here on YouTube. I really see that for myself. I desire that. I'm excited about it. That is something that I want. But when I look at the footage and I see that I recorded myself in slow motion, there's no audio, it doesn't faze me because I'm about averages, not one single moment. And I understand that I'm human, and bloopers are going to happen when you send out an email with a typo in it. It doesn't matter what title you have, what salary you're making, we all have bloopers. Okay, we're human. So I hit the wrong button on the camera on accident, and here we are. That's okay, because the sun doesn't need to shine in the same way each day for the plants to grow. Not every rep has to be 100%. Not every quiz has to be 100% for you to learn. Not every plot on your graph has to be in a perfect straight line in order for you to go up. And it's really learning to internalize that lesson. And like I said, let it show up in your actions and your attitude. Attitude is so important, right? So how I spoke to myself, how I viewed the situation when I realized that I had made this error. I thought about refilming it, but I decided it was just as fine to make a montage and do a voiceover. And then I'll have an opportunity this week. So it's okay. It's okay, because my average means more to me than one single moment. And so the attitude that you have really influences the choices that you make, how you're speaking about it. If you're speaking about it in a neutral way or a super negative way, getting yourself all worked up and flustered and, speaking negatively about yourself, that's not going to help. So it is totally possible to become consistent and to have discipline from a place of softness, from a place of nurturing, and find that balance between structure and flow. It is totally possible. And this is the first step. This is one of my favorite lessons ever. This is a phrase that I live by. And again, it's something that I really want you to think about, because in between where you are right now and where you want to go with whatever it is that you desire for yourself, like I said, it could be becoming a better dancer, starting your own business, becoming a content creator, writing a book. I don't care what it is. Your ability to stay consistent and have the discipline to stay consistent in between point A and point B is crucial, right? And you know that, but sometimes it's hard to remember. Okay. So next time you're feeling rushed, you're in that forcing energy, you're trying to force outcomes, you're getting really frustrated with yourself because you're not being consistent, you're not being disciplined, you're setting these expectations, but then trying to fast forward your way to them or strong arm your way to them, go outside. Go outside and notice, is it sunny or cloudy? Was it sunny or cloudy yesterday? When was the last time it rained? And then look around. Now, barring any human impact on nature, right? Because there's that whole thing. Like, the plants are still growing. They're still doing what they need to do. So reset your internal systems to what you see in nature. Okay, align yourself with nature more, and you'll find that this pressure that you've been putting on yourself will start to release. And that's going to feel really, really good, because you can absolutely be consistent, disciplined, and high performing without overworking yourself, without putting this pressure on yourself, without the harshness, just the energy that is blocking you from that lightness, that softness that you desire, right? And so whenever I share this lesson, it really helps my clients soften. It helps them soften, it helps them slow down. And for many of them, it's helped them unlock like the consistency that they always needed, and just knowing and trusting that, wait a minute, consistency isn't what I was told necessarily. And this is the true, I think, how to behind it, where it's coming from a place of nurturing, right? So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please let me know in the comments below how it helped you, if it triggered anything for you, any insights, how you're going to apply it, if you've heard this before already, if you're on time 100 now. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And as we're wrapping up this look, I just really enjoyed putting this together and taking more time with my makeup. You're going to see that I'm taking the hair down now, and I have tried to find these rollers somewhere, but I cannot, because these rollers are 15 years old, the steam rollers that I have, and I can't find them anywhere on Amazon. So I'm sorry about that, but I personally feel that steam rollers are one of the most underrated hair tools ever, especially if you have fine hair. They're so much more gentle. Yes, you're using heat, but it's not the same as putting, hot metal against your hair. And I set these for maybe an hour, hour and a half as I was getting ready to film, and then while filming, and this is what I got from no product in my hair, by the way. No product, just the rollers. So hopefully you can find them somewhere else. But in any case, thank you again for watching. I really appreciate you all. Looking forward to hearing your feedback. Before you go, be sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button so you never miss an upload. And I'm sure I will be seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye.